Hello, and welcome back to Winter Pride 2020. We are here doing a wonderful Metroid Fusion run by MetroidMaster. Take it away.
Hey y'all, I'm MetroidMaster, and with me on commentary, I've got...
Oh, I'm introduced myself. Hello, it's Crunchy Lex.
Alrighty, so that was a really lovely Metroid 2 mission ROM hack, so now we're gonna do a little bit different. We're gonna play an actual Metroid game, Metroid Fusion. So, are y'all ready on the timer?
We are ready.
Alrighty, in 3, 2, 1, let's rock! Alright, so first I gotta mash through a little bit of text because there is one big thing that's different in Metroid Fusion is there is a lot of text.
Yes, text is very much the true final boss of Metroid Fusion, and thankfully for a lot of us, or depending on how you look at it, we recently had a switch to RTA on the leaderboard, so now the Japanese version is unquestionably the fastest. It saves minutes on text versus the English version, which used to be the in-game time fastest.
And as we just saw, I did the very hardest part of the game, the main deck climb.
That's actually not even joking. The climb in that room is one of the hardest bits of movement in the entire run and a very common reset point.
Alright, Crunchy, do you know why I am constantly shooting at ledges?
Why you're constantly shooting at ledges? Well, those ledges know what they did, but let's fill it in for the rest of them. Basically, movement in this game is a lot of really small things, and one of them is you want to be in the air as little as possible. So when you're jumping vertically, shooting pulls Samus out of her spin and lets her land a few frames faster, and which minimizes the time spent in the air. Win-win. We call it spin canceling.
For those who like to watch Super Metroid runs, I guess we could compare that to the, was it diagonal, like ledge canceling, by aiming diagonally as you're spin jumping onto a ledge to get on it faster?
I'm a Super Metroid runner. Yes, you can.
Okay.
It's a similar thing.
Yeah,
I still plan to learn Super Metroid at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
I'm sorry in advance for what it is going to do your hand muscles.
Can confirm it messes with my right hand very badly.
And if you join Super Metroid, make sure to also start running Shaq Fu at around the same time. There are several Super Metroid runners that run Shaq Fu as like a break. It's great.
Interesting.
God, the fact that there is legitimately a move in that game called the Shaq Doken is a fact that I will take to the grave.
It can be described as nothing short of legendary.
For sure.
Alright, well, while we're listening to this nice Japanese monologue by Samus, so we're heading to our first data room to download missiles, because downloading missiles is a thing.
Well, you know, magical future space Napster.
Yeah, something to that effect. So our missiles are going to climb our survival rate from 10% to 20% somehow.
Something along those lines. One of the big gimmicks in this game, for anyone who's not familiar with the lore, Samus was infected by the X-Parasites, the game's main antagonist. That yellow jello you saw in that long talk cutscene earlier, which means that now Samus is part Metroid due to a Metroid vaccine that saved her life, and she can no longer get power-ups from Chozo statues. She just downloads them off the internet or absorbs them off of X-Parasites. That's the new deal now.
Yep. So basically, it's not even the internet, it's like the Galactic Federation just sends data through the R&D team. Like, I wish Metal Gear Solid had that kind of R&D. Or does it?
No, they just have nanomachines.
Oh, okay, that's right. Nanomachines, son.
They harden in response to physical trauma. But anyways, MetroidMaster is now on his way to the first boss, who gives us a very important power, because you might have noticed that Samus has not done one thing she is well known for. She has not turned into a ball yet, because Samus does not have morph at the start of this game. But the first boss will help us out with that, but not until we get past the door.
Speaking of which, so this is a big, like, RNG point I'm going to be donating $1 for every beam that gets shot at me by an eye door. So I'm gonna need y'all to help keep track. I think right now I'm at 3.
That looked like 3 to me. Yeah, the thing about the eye doors is you need it to show its vulnerable point, but it can shoot up to 4 beams before it'll show you its vulnerable point. But here's Arachnus. You might remember it from Metroid 2. Oh no! We in Bakery Town now. Give me some rolls. Got him.
So Crunchy, why did that X-Core die so quickly?
Oh, you asked that at just the right time. So normally this core takes 3 missiles to kill, and you have to wait for invincibility frames to wear off. But MetroidMaster, being the clever fellow he is, managed to get it to fly into 2 missiles he had fired vertically and have them both hit at once. That's something we call a double missile, which does double the damage and lets you skip an entire cycle of iframes on every Core X. Right now that meant 1 saved cycle, but later on when you have some of them that take 6 missiles, that adds up to a lot of seconds. Also, I'm gonna have to throw hands with Nightbot saying that I'm not actually here.
Oh, Nightbot's in trouble.
Nightbot!
So as we're talking to our ship's computer, it's telling us, oh hey, the X-Parasites have invaded the breeding environments in the BSL research station that we're on. And so we gotta go to the first breeding environment, Sector 1, a faithful replica of the planet SR388's ecosystem, and figure out what in the heck is going on.
Yep, a little bit more additional lore. This station is actually in orbit above SR388, the Metroid homeworld, and has 6 sectors, all with different biomes.
Hey, Crunchy, we just went down the elevator, right?
Uh-oh.
What is this?
Wait a second, those shoulder pads. What's going on? Oh. So,
the door was already open. Why did you shoot it?
I open the door every time. It always shoots the door.
It's so rude.
I know. So that's going to be the recurring antagonist throughout the game, the SAX, which after many years I was finally able to piece together is supposed to mean Samus Aran X. But
really? We gotta figure that out, like, right at the beginning?
Shut up.
Okay, so we're talking to our ship's computer again in Sector 1. Turns out the X-Parasites have infected these 5 atmospheric stabilizers and are trying to basically allow themselves to multiply faster. So we have to go clear those stabilizers.
So, of the many hats that Samus wears in this game, HVAC repair technician is definitely one of the odder ones. But thankfully, as it turns out, you can use missiles to repair them. The ultimate evolution of percussive maintenance, as it turns out. So we're going to see right here, MetroidMaster going to shoot 3 missiles, clear that out. Now this is actually a little bit more randomness here. You saw that it moves up and down in a short distance. In some cases, particularly here and with the third one, you have to actually, depending on where it is moving, he might have to wait a couple of seconds for it to get into position. So that's something that's beyond our control, but definitely adds or subtracts time. So keep your fingers crossed that they're in favorable positions.
Oh, that was so smooth.
Oh, that's so good. Sometimes the pirates are on the right, or they just body slam you from the left. So just going cleanly down there is always super satisfying.
Tinked 1 missile, but it's fine.
On top of that, keeping full health is extremely important here in Sector 1, because this early on, MetroidMaster only has 15 missiles, and since he can only use missiles to fix the stabilizers and also open the eye doors, he wants to stay at full health to guarantee green X drops, which give him missiles. And since there are so many things that will get in your way, or the pirates that'll body slam you to drop you from full health, having happen what actually happened there is real good news.
And whoa, lucky drop.
Get the red X. Ooh, the red
I did get the red X.
Yeah. Hey, MetroidMaster, raise your hand if you had to run die in that room because you ran out of missiles and couldn't kill the pirates.
Too many times to count.
Yeah, missiles are super important on this first visit to Sector 1.
All right, 4, 5, 6.
Now, fortunately, this is going to be the last door where you have to shoot it more than once. After this, it's just going to be a single cycle to kill it. But first, gotta deal with this course. This one's a little bit different. You might see it has an eye. That means this is one of the beam cores. You can only shoot it when its eye opens, and getting doubles is substantially harder because it doesn't have that big square hitbox. You have to hit it in the eye.
Instagrab, sweet spot.
Sweet spot. You want to tell the fine folks about the sweet spot, or should I?
Go for it. I'm still running. I still gotta focus a bit.
That's right. That's right. That's why I'm here. Shoot. All right. So sweet spot is another thing that speeds up the Core X fights, which can actually get pretty long if you're not careful. Can only pick them up in a specific spot. Regardless of where in the room you kill the Core X, it will always float to the one pickup spot before you can grab it. But if you kill the Core X on the spot where you're supposed to pick it up, you can grab it instantly. And that's what we call sweet spot. So between double missiles and sweet spot, you can the Core X fight can vary by over 10 seconds, particularly later on. And in a game where there's really no sequence breaking, that's a huge deal.
Hang on a second.
Oh?
I live with people who just kind of burst in and start talking to me. Sorry about that.
No worries at all.
You know what? Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, as I'm exiting Sector 1, do we happen to have any donations?
We do, yes. We have a $100 donation from Heppenwana. Thank you for putting on a great marathon for a great cause. Good luck to all the runners. Thank you so much for your generosity, Heppenwana. And we have a $50 donation from David TKI, who says, King Graham for SMZ3. Thank you very much for that donation, David TKI. That is in reference to the Choose the Second Sprite incentive for the Super Metroid / A Link to the Past 2 Seeds 1 Controller race, which is going to be so cool. Our Z3 player, Link to the Past player Xandra, will be using a second sprite for when she is playing the game, and there is a donation incentive to choose which one that is. You can check out all of our incentives over at Bang Incentives.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool, and thank you so much for your generosity, everybody. The Trevor Project is a fantastic cause, and I'm real happy to be able to be here and help with raising money for them.
Same here. All right. So now we are entering Sector 2, the tropical biome.
Ooh, ready for a vacation?
If only. Well, it turns out the computer has figured out what that thing was. It is actually a X-parasite that is mimicking me, so it's named it the Samusaran X, or Sax.
I don't know about you, but every time I see it, I always hear Careless Whisper playing in my head.
See, I get that nice lick from Baker Street, which is the song that everyone knows only because of that saxophone solo part.
Hey, you know what? It's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, I have to be very careful at the beginning of this section. Ow. And that's why.
Yes, the red enemies here, Zoros, are extremely tough. They do a lot of damage, and there's a whole bunch of them between here and the next refill MetroidMaster can take. If he starts getting knocked around, it's very easy to die here in Sector 2. Health is very much the limiting factor, much like missiles were in Sector 1.
Yeah, I want to say those Zoros, if I bump into them, do 50 damage, I want to say.
Yep. And considering that the moment you only have 200 health, getting knocked around a bunch is Well, it just kills your run straight up. Thankfully, MetroidMaster does have a charge beam, the item he picked up in Sector 1. The charge beam is extremely good in this game. Like, shockingly good. Because not only does it turn your beam from a single pellet into basically a double shot, but at full charge, it has a whole bunch of added benefits. You can fire on the first frame through a door if you let go when you're coming out of the door, while you're in the transition. And you can see a flash appear around Samus's arm when you fire it, which also does damage. So you get right in something's face and let the charge shot go. You can do massive damage. And that's not even getting into the pseudo screw attack where you hold a charge and do a somersault. So it's just incredibly versatile, very strong, and it only gets better as you get more beam upgrades.
Alright, that was a little bit scary there, just in terms of I don't normally get patterns like that, so I was like,
Yeah, I was about to say you got really unfortunate Zoro placement there. I'm sorry.
Oh, it is what it is.
Yeah, you got to roll with it. This is one of the spots where you do actually have to adapt based on enemies.
Whereas Zero Mission, not so much. I mean, there's a bit of it, but usually it's easier to deal with them.
Yeah. Although for anyone who's played both, this game definitely plays a little bit slower, for lack of a better term. The jumping movement in Zero Mission just feels very, very speedy.
Oh yeah.
But we didn't talk about what you picked up there. You picked up the bombs, which in this game are tragically not as good as we'd like them to be. Unfortunately, because the blast radius is small and the timer is long, infinite bomb jumping is not a thing you will be seeing in Metroid Fusion. There is one spot where you can do a JBJ, a jump bomb jump, but that's extremely challenging, and I don't think you do that, do you?
No.
Actually, wait, that's a 100% thing. Never mind. Scratch that. Categories crossed in my head. I'm a professional.
Alright. Oh, very nice.
All right, so remember I mentioned the thing about the two parts of the beam and the flash? That also lets you get through eye doors in a single round. So zero beam door is a possibility, and we got one. So here we go. It's time for Zaza B. Ooh, a real good first round there.
Really good second round, too.
Oh, dang. Yeah, no kidding. So Zaza B basically jumps around and actually has a random number of jumps you can get between 3 and, is it 12? I always forget the upper bound.
I'm not sure. I was gonna suggest making that a donation thing too, but then I realized I could very well go broke.
That was a 5-jump Zaza B. That's actually real good. And there's the double and the double. What a champion. Turning a 4-round core into a 2-round core. That's another fun thing you can do. While the core X is forming, you can absolutely try to get the diagonal to hit those doubles, because the core X does have a square hitbox despite being round, which is good for us. That's the only reason we can do double missiles.
Pretty much.
All right, we're coming up on what for a lot of folks is the first encounter with the SAX. I'm gonna say sometimes the sound effect balancing in this game is a bit weird, but the sound design when the sax is around is top notch, because it genuinely just puts you on edge. Just the clanking of it walking around, the menacing sounds. It's just, and it's genuinely dangerous too. And this, because at this point in time in the game, if you touch it, you just die. And if it sees you, it's going to try to freeze you and shoot you with a super missile, you know, like a Metroid. And if it freezes you, you're as good as dead. There is actually a way to jump ahead and skip it. We call it the sack skip in that room, but it is extremely tight and unforgiving. If you fail it, you just die. So not many folks outside of those who are vying for a world record time will go for it.
Which is not me at the moment, so I think I'll just wait.
Yeah.
Alright, that being said, we are now done with Sector 2, so normally next would be 3, right?
You'd think so.
Well, turns out the Sax has invaded Sector 4 with several thousand X, so I guess we're going to 4.
Yeah, so you know, if you were young playing this game, you were trying to learn how to count using Metroid Fusion, you would learn to count 1, 2, 4, 6. No, 1, 2, 4, 6, 4, 3,
6,
5, 0, 5, and so on and so forth. It gets a bit wacky, but anyways. On our way to Sector 4, the aquatic sector, we go from tropical to a giant swimming pool, and also the only sector, incidentally, where you walk left off the elevator to go in.
Huh, it's like other Metroid games where you don't just go right.
Non-linear gameplay! And of course, being facetious, gameplay is pretty linear in Fusion, but we still like it anyway because the movement is very fun.
It is.
And the bosses are real cool.
Speaking of which, we're coming up to one of my favorite bosses in terms of music.
Yes.
The boss of Sector 4 is Ceres, which apparently has become a ex-parasite host. It is capable of attacking at very high speed.
And the game is kind enough to highlight the words very high speed in yellow to let you know, to give you a big hint as to what you're going to get from it when you kill it.
Yeah. Also, the water is electrified.
Yep, the old toaster in the bathtub. But anyways, this is Sector 4. This is really this is the way I will describe the first visit to Sector 4. This is where things really start picking up. The movement starts getting more complex, and it becomes a lot easier to lose time off of simple mistakes.
Which is about what I'm trying to avoid here.
Oh, certainly. Not to mention there's plenty of vertical movement. This next room here, where MetroidMaster has to just climb and dealing with the enemies as he goes, those are called ouches, by the way. I'm not even joking. You have to adapt to where they are, and ooh, bad positioning on that one. But pseudo-speed definitely helps.
Huh, I thought I had shot that block as I was running in.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
It's fine. Oh look. Looks like Ceres is already dead, right?
Yeah,
so we're good, right?
Does it have 3 nostrils, or are those eyes?
I think those are supposed to be eyes.
Okay. Uh-oh, an eye.
7, 8. Okay, that's not bad.
All right, so y'all get ready. This time, it's time for the biggest, fastest wiggly boy. It's Ceres, and a sweet gem of a boss theme, too. So here's the big deal with Ceres. Normally, the game wants you to use 5 missiles on its face to kill it, but, like I said before, charge beam, really good. So if you wait for it to get right up in your face, hit it with both parts of the beam and the flash at full charge, you can turn a 5-round fight into a 2-round fight. And its movement is not random either. It actually kind of goes in pairs, so if you see the first move here, you can anticipate where it's going to move to the second one. So just like that, MetroidMaster knew it was going to be coming right there, gets the 2-round. Now this is a 5-missile core. With double doubles, you can do this in 3 rounds. There's a double. If you can get one more double, you can get a sweet spot here. Oh my god, that is as clean as Ceres gets.
All right, hold on. I got to focus a little bit for our next trick, and you can explain it once I'm done.
Sure.
Got it.
Nice. All right, so now that MetroidMaster is armed with a speed booster, he has access to Shine Sparks, that old chestnut, a very, very fun movement tool. And you no longer get hurt doing it, but right there, he saved having to run back and forth an extra time by doing what we call a low height Shine Spark. He has to basically mash jump there in order to get it to register, otherwise he just kind of jumps in place. But now with the speed booster, movement options increase dramatically because now there's a couple of extra things about it from before. Like I said, it no longer drains health. And on top of that, if you Shine Spark horizontally into a slope, Samus takes off running again, so you can actually carry speed in a few spots. Not to mention Shine Sparking. Wait, no, I'm thinking of Zero Mission. You can't Shine Spark and Ball.
Nope.
Nope.
Look, I know you've commentated me running Zero Mission because that's like my main speed game, but alright, gonna focus because another low height.
Yep.
And we got it.
Nice. This was the harder one of the two, because in the other one, the ceiling keeps you at the low height, but on this one, you have to actually unmorph right before you hit the ground and activate the Shine Spark. Otherwise, Samus hovers a little bit above the floor before she launches, and MetroidMaster would have bonked on that platform.
Actually, funny enough, I actually wait for the bounce, but I unmorph like right as I hit the ground because that bounce still, or when I unmorph right at the bounce, it still keeps me at the proper height, and I feel like that's a much more consistent setup for me.
Yeah, those are the two methods, on the bounce or before the bounce. I've never been able to get the after the bounce to work, so I just do it on the way down. But hey, man, whatever works for you.
Yep. All right, now we're gonna make our way to Sector 3. So the story is we need to go download more missiles, except they're very super.
These are the best missiles. They are super strong, and sound direction in this game peaks with the super missiles. They have one of the most satisfying, just bone-crunching explosion sounds of any concussive weapon in a game I've played. And they shake the screen too, so it's just satisfaction from top to bottom on these.
So much fun.
And you also saw there that before getting back up on the elevator, MetroidMaster held a charge through that cutscene and then just ran onto the slope and jumped into the elevator. Again, that's one of those minor time saves. It doesn't really save too much once, but you're going to be doing it enough times throughout the course of the run that it adds up. And with a game as linear as Metroid Fusion is, little movement things add up. In fact, any trick you come up with that saves more than a second is considered a big deal. Because most times those are measured in frames.
Alright, might try for some? No? Okay, that's fine. Alright. Alley-oop!
Shiny
Alright.
striking is never not satisfying.
It feels so dang good.
It really does. All right, so you've unlocked the green doors, which is great. Now you can get to the data room. Unfortunately, that means the X can now get into Sector 3, which is less good news.
Yeah, that's just not fun. Thankfully, there aren't any, like, big Sector 3 bosses, right?
I mean... You could have tried to be a bit more convincing with that.
No shine break, but that's okay.
Unfortunate. There's a trick you can do here where if you crouch before if you crouch on the edge of the block, you'll still break the speed booster block but maintain your charge, which lets you shine spark up this vertical shaft. It's only like half a second faster, because that's the thing about shine sparking. It has a wind up and a bonk animation, which are actually pretty long. So if the distance you would be shine sparking is short enough, it's not actually faster to shine spark. So that's something we've carefully calculated.
Well, I had the speed booster and then I shine sparked when I didn't want to. That's okay.
Well, that's how it is. Unfortunately, because of limited controls and just some of the ways that the game's movement is, it's very easy to shine spark when you don't want to. And actually, someone mentioned it in chat, which is something I had forgot to say before. This game is on the GBA, so there's only 2 buttons. There is no dedicated run button, so short charging like in Super Metroid is not a thing that happens. You just have to run the distance, and that's what you do.
Yeah, and now we have a box.
Boy, that sure is a leggy box.
It's a very leggy box, probably because there's a snake in it.
Oh my god. But this is Box, the security robot. The gimmick here is with super missiles and charge beam, you can do a lot of damage to it. It's going to shoot these fire bombs at you, but thankfully, as long as you're not directly above it, you're not going to be in too much trouble. Hitting the diagonals is actually pretty tough though, because the hitbox is slightly recessed, but that was an alright boss fight. Not like a super fast one, but did not get away from you, which is great, because that fight can very easily get away from you.
It felt good enough. Like, yeah. I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh, for sure.
Diagonal, straight, boom.
Yeah, the only way you can really, the fastest strat for that actually involves jumping directly into its hitbox, which is as hard as it sounds and very dangerous.
Yeah, I'd rather be safe, especially in a marathon.
It looks so cool, though. You gotta do it for the swag.
Look, I'm the MetroidMaster, not the Swag Master.
Why can't you be both?
Because I saved that for Zero Mission #1.
Okay, that's fair. There's a lot of swag to be had in Zero Mission.
Especially getting first try acid worm skip.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is interesting to note, seeing more talking chat, how physics change. Super Metroid is really where Metroid kind of found its stride, and the physics feel very floaty in that one. In Fusion, they did some big quality of life things like letting you respin after you jump, but movement's a little bit faster, not quite as floaty. And in Zero Mission, everything just kind of combines to be the fastest movement yet, but give you the most options. So the movement gets faster as you go, for better or worse. Some people prefer it floatier, some people prefer it faster. There's something for everybody in 2D Metroid.
I very much like the high gravity and speed of Zero Mission. That being said, Fusion was the first Metroid game that I ever had, and was what got me into speedrunning in the first place. So I also got to run that too and rep it.
The first Metroid game I owned was Metroid 2 for the Game Boy, and yet I still love this series. No, I joke. Metroid 2 is actually a really fun game, and a great speedrun.
So what's up with these blue X here, Crunchy?
Uh-oh, it looks like somebody's gotten into the powdered Kool-Aid. That's right, the X's have now become cold X's, because since they know that Samus is part Metroid, that means she's also vulnerable to cold. If you grab a blue X, and they will try to get grabbed by you, unlike the other X's, they will freeze you from within and do a not insignificant amount of damage.
I think it's like 60 damage or something like that.
I honestly can't remember. It's less than 100, I know that.
Yeah, they hurt.
40 to 60, something like that. Thankfully, you can shoot them to freeze them. Freeze them. To make them stop chasing you, which is what you're seeing MetroidMaster do. And if you take the correct path to get to the boss, you're not going to run into too many of them either. So the only spot where you might have to worry is right there, that one he just ran past, because sometimes that one can be a little bit lower and you have to morph, otherwise you will grab it.
Okay, perfect bomb placement.
Very nice. This is right here, the free energy tank. This one costs 0 seconds to grab, because since you're waiting for the bomb to explode, there's no reason not to grab the E-tank.
Yep. By the way, chat, y'all are familiar with how devastating power bombs are in Super Metroid, right? Well, the SAX is about to drop one. I should probably move out of the way, right? I don't think I will. Bonk. Oh, 20 damage. Well, guess it's not as strong as we thought, huh?
Oh, you know, it transformed from concussive damage to audio damage, because the power bombs are so loud in this game.
The best whoosh.
The biggest whoosh. Oh yeah, and that was a sack strat right there. If you shoot it, it'll actually just jump over you. You can run past it, which is a lot faster than waiting for it to leave, because the sax is never in any particular hurry. Oh god, that's your various suit.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, so this is Giant Core X. Once again, MetroidMaster going to take advantage of the double shot and flare from the charge beam. It's possible to get this on a 4-cycle, but if it gets away from you, which is very easy to happen, well, you just do what you can. And now there's an additional problem that MetroidMaster has to deal with. With the Super Missile upgrade, they are definitely faster, but it also actually adjusts your missile timing. They move faster, and there's a longer cooldown between shots. So the double missile timing is actually different and more challenging, and with every upgrade he gets, double missile timing gets more difficult.
Blah.
And I see you become acquainted with the Various suit.
A little sickening, yeah.
Yeah, this is not the most appealing color scheme, but on the plus side, heat and the cold will no longer hurt you, and you can grab blue X's and they heal you now.
Except they learn about that little gimmick very fast.
That is definitely one of the cool touches in this game. Even though it's more linear, there's a lot of really neat little touches, such as that one. The blue X's will chase you and get grabbed by you in that room, but only in that room. From that point forward, they will all flee from you, because they have immediately learned that they can no longer hurt you. A cool little hive mind detail there that I really appreciate.
Oh gosh, the puffers are in the worst positioning.
Oh, God. The puffers are the worst. You can't just shoot them, because if you hit them, even if you kill them, they spew that purple gas, which makes their hitbox like double in size, and they're real obnoxious to get around, and they hurt quite a bit even with the various suit. I guess that's one of the big disadvantages to the non-linear nature, is that since they know when you'll be getting the new suits, they can just increase the damage of everything, so it's not like you don't really feel like you're getting stronger too much from as far as taking damage.
Which is part of what makes this game so gosh dang scary.
Yeah, for real.
Like, cool, this SAX can still freeze me, but it all still hurts.
But the good news is this also lets you now go into Sector 5, which is an interesting fact here. If you can go into Sector 5 before Sector 6, since they're both locked by the same color door, but if you do, you'll start taking constant damage as if you were in a heated room, because again, Samus is vulnerable to the cold.
I'll actually be able to tell you exactly which rooms, because it's not like as soon as you step out of the recharge and save rooms.
Yeah, no, it's well, it's kind of obvious which rooms when you get to them, but yeah, I'm gonna call them out. But unfortunately, this visit to Sector 5 also means you have to bid farewell to the super missiles, which makes me very sad.
Yeah, so we can't get the ice beam, supposedly. So instead, HQ is giving us ice missiles so we can freeze things. Unfortunately, that also means that we cannot one-shot stuff with missiles anymore.
Yeah, and the explosion isn't as satisfying either. They add utility at the expense of combat ability. Thankfully, the charge beam being great makes up for that, but it still kind of sucks.
So I'm gonna do a thing I've been doing lately, which is I'm gonna shine spark into that enemy. If I get it at the right height, I can also break that first block at the same time, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I found it helps me out a lot more.
Yeah, I think because of the short distance, that might not strictly speaking be faster, but consistency is the most important thing.
Pretty much. Speaking of consistency, you can see I'm still doing the shot canceling at ledges just to make sure that I'm getting the most optimal movement I can.
The tragic irony of shot canceling the spin is that if you screw it up even once, you lose all the time you would save over the course of the run doing them, but we do them anyway.
Yep.
That's how little time we save, but
What is a bomb?
a miserable little pile of sadness.
Apparently it was for me too.
So anyways, this visit to Sector 5, like we said, gonna go get the ice missiles, but first we have to unlock the yellow doors to get to the data room, which means we're gonna do a bit of a lap of Sector 5. Now this actually creates a bit of a problem, because Sector 5 is the sector we visit most often in any percent. We visit it 3 times versus most 2 for all the other sectors, and, well, that means that it's very, very easy to get discombobulated since you do this lap on multiple visits. So a big danger, which has happened to more than a few runners, in fact we joke it's kind of the rite of passage of being a fusion speedrunner, is that you can actually forget what you're trying to do and leave early without getting the missiles, or perhaps do a lap when you don't need to do a lap, and hopefully that's not going to happen in MetroidMaster now that I've mentioned it, but it is a very real risk when playing this game, especially if you're kind of autopiloting.
I have nearly gotten lost with Crunchy Legs as my commentator, and the interactions were the most hilarious.
Yeah. No. Oh goodness, but I'm so sorry for your loss now that you have ice missiles.
Oh well, it is what it is. I can actually still make pretty well do with them, even with a little whatchamacallits that I'll have to that I can't one-shot anymore.
Yeah, thankfully Charge Beam does have one other thing that I did forget to mention earlier, which is it doesn't just you don't just have the ability to do a first frame shot through a door, but if you enter a door holding the button down, you will always leave the door with a full charge. So you can actually guarantee a full charge entering a room that way.
Oh, that was a very nice pseudo screw there. Out of my way. All right, let's see if I can make the jump. Oh, all right, I got it.
Yeah, adjusting for the waivers in Sector 5 is actually a really big part of saving time in this area because they can be in multiple places and they knock you around. So being good at the vertical movement and being able to adapt to waiver positioning is huge in Sector 5 and makes you feel really, really good when you get it.
Hey, Crunchy, it says there's an emergency, but I can't hear where. Can the chat maybe tell me where the emergency is?
Gosh, I can't tell. I think is the emergency in Frank or Z, MetroidMaster? That's what it sounds like to me.
I think so.
I think.
All right, chat. This is the time. I need you all to spam emergency in Frank or Z.
Let me see your Frank or Z's, chat. This is one of the proudest traditions in Metroid Fusion speedrunning.
By the way, if anyone subscribes to my channel, there is a emote that I have called Squawker Z. Emergency in Squawker Z is also acceptable.
That's a little bit later. That's a little bit later. But anyway, this emergency section, the gimmick here is that someone has left the furnace running in Sector 3 and it's going to melt down and blow up the station, you know, just like a real furnace. So we have to go and adjust the thermostat. Unfortunately, it's not exactly located conveniently. You have to go all the way to the bottom of Sector 3 in a very generous 6 minutes. So MetroidMaster is going to make his way down there. This is very much a section designed to train you on how to use ice missiles, because those stretchies, like the one that MetroidMaster just froze, freezing them, using them as platforms is the big thing you'll be doing a lot of in this sequence. So far, so good.
Yeah, one thing to note as I'm out going across these ladders, I'm actually holding diagonal up in the direction that I am trying to climb, because if I were to get hit, I would get knocked off of the ladders. And so to re-grab the ladder and not fall into the lava pit, I need to be holding up to do so.
Yeah, the game thankfully isn't so mean as to not give you a way to grab the monkey bars again. Here are the final big room here. This is the one where you have to be very, very careful. It's easy to freeze a stretchy in a bad spot or accidentally shoot out a block. But very, very nice. Super clean. Well played.
Jump. Thank you. Whoa! Okay, I was not expecting the no beam, but that worked out very well in my favor.
Yo, nice!
No double.
Future there. All right, so here it is. That's not actually a researcher. That is a Core X. Once again, an eyeball Core X. This is a beam core.
That was a fairly quick grab.
Yo, nice. And looks like you got one double and a low 420 emergency time. That's a solid time.
Is it? All right, emergency is over. We can end the Frank or Z spam.
Yeah, so I think the fastest recorded time on the timer for the emergency is what, 4:36?
I honestly do not know.
It's a mid to high 4:30s. Getting anything above 4:30 is excellent. Getting anything above 4:20 is very good, and you take those. You take those.
I will gladly take those.
But great, now you have the wide beam. Spazer is dead. Long live wide beam. Now, aside from making your beam wider, it has another added benefit. I alluded to this before. Every beam upgrade you get increases the base damage of your beam, which is great because, you know, more damage, more better. But not just that, the charge beam also gives you that multiplier on the new base damage. So as you get more upgrades, your charge beam becomes extremely good. Even better than it already was, particularly after the next beam upgrade. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, heading out of sector 3 here, though.
To answer a question in the chat, while the various suit is resistant to heat, it is not resistant to lava damage.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he has to get the gravity suit in order to be able to withstand that lava.
Oh, I lost my charge. Oh well. It happens. Could be worse.
You just skid a little bit too far. Samus wasn't expecting to have to go for a jog. Didn't put on her shoes with attraction.
All right, so are we saving or killing the animals?
Saving, obviously. Why would you do anything else?
That's true. I don't think I have a choice.
Even if you did, why would you do anything else?
That's true.
Imagine going for an incentive that removes content. Always save the animals.
Yes. Yes.
Well, in this case, I actually don't have a choice. I have to go save the animals. It's for plot.
Yes. The computer has told us that there have been life forms detected up on the habitation deck, so we have to go up there to figure out what they are, who they are, and help them. And we already kind of spoiled that one. It's the animals. But this is going to be the last revisit to the main deck we have before Endgame. So for all you main deck fans out there, savor this moment. MetroidMaster, are you going to give us some impossible strat today?
I don't know what the impossible strat is, so unfortunately, I probably can't.
Literally impossible. No, there is some very challenging strat to get that we call impossible strat.
But you goofed up a little bit. That's fine. There we go.
MetroidMaster going for a shine break here to be able to shine spark up this next vertical shaft just like that.
Yep. I guess the position of the animals is RNG. And we got 3 of them, 4, waiting for one more. Look at the tiny one! He's so cute! Okay, no, look how he runs!
It's little Babby Decora.
Anyway, yeah, so we saved the animals, now we get to continue on.
Yep, so this officially means the computer will say that everybody's dead. Literally everybody on the station is dead. Also, cover your eyes.
Oh, yeah. And then Samus's monologue actually alludes to them helping her unleash abilities she never knew she had. Those specifically being the wall jump and the shine spark.
Yes, it is strongly implied that those are the same animals from Super Metroid.
I would hope that baby Decoras can do baby shine sparks.
That would be adorable. It would hurt, but it would be so cute. So hey, remember Sector 5? That was pretty fun. Want to go back there?
I guess?
Well, tough. You're going back to Sector 5.
Aww.
But it's okay. You will soon gain the ability to annoy your neighbors because you're getting the loudest power up.
Oh shoot. Well, okay, I guess I'm skipping those. I forgot that I was supposed to get those main deck missiles.
Oh, I mean, you could probably try to grab another one along the way somewhere. Couldn't hurt, especially for some of those, especially for Nightmare.
I'm more worried about Sector 2.
That's okay. Yeah.
I'll just have to use a few charge beams, I guess.
Adapting on the fly. Legendary.
All right. Hey, look. We just get to go right to the data room. Easy, right? And go back?
Yeah, exactly. And hey, now you also get the opportunity to showcase one of those cool shine sparks.
Don't have that one yet.
Oh, dang it. No, there's the shorter one.
The shorter one.
Yeah, you can actually shine spark through the 2 doors and then bonk on this platform.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't have that one down, but
okay,
that's fine.
That one's not a huge time save. That one's not very much a swag strat.
All right, now we get a fun power up, the whoosh bombs.
While those are downloading, I'm going to take a quick moment to address a question I saw. So, this is any percent no memory corruption. We didn't really talk about the category. This used to be any percent, but a couple of years ago now, it was discovered that it was possible to corrupt the memory in the English version by getting out of bounds and then dropping power bombs in certain locations, which would, well, corrupt the memory, allowing you to die and then reload a save, which would place you in the final corridor of the game very, very early. Now, since that's obviously completely different than this, what did you do? What did you do?
Actually, surprisingly enough, that ice beam shot was not as close as it usually is to me, which is where that little screen comes from. Because I've had a time where it was literally like right at my toes, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I usually have to do a little hop there to not get hit by that.
Well, that's usually what I do. Okay, we got the speed booster. Good.
Very nice.
It is actually possible for that security door to not open up in time, and then you would have to power bomb that thing that is in the way.
Yeah, that's one of several spots where the trick I mentioned earlier about firing a shot on the first frame out of the door is super important. So if you hold the diagonal aim button and make sure to release your charge shot, Samus will always shoot that gate on the first frame, and that's pretty much the only way you can avoid hitting that gate. If you try to do it manually, you will hit the gate.
Also, did you see that nice little needle thread there?
Yo, the jukes. The ziggin' and the zaggin'.
I will not be getting sniped today. Looks like my ship wants me to, well, return back to the ship. Are we done?
No. I think Computer Dad wants to know why there is less than the half tank he left in the car last night.
Oh, yeah, about that.
You were supposed to go to the library to study, Samus. You weren't hanging out with boys, were you?
Oh, hey, look, the power's out.
Oh, well, I guess that's that. So, in case you're wondering why this middle screen is here, it's because of this section right here. The power is, in fact, out. Elevators don't work, doors don't work, not much of anything works.
Wasn't that Ridley, by the way?
It sure looks like Ridley. And this room right here with these spitters, I think these are they actually called Genesises?
I do not know.
I can't remember. Oh, yeah, you can grab this missile tank right here. Give yourself that extra missile.
Yep.
Drop that power bomb and blow up those blocks. We will be needing those later.
Alright, so now our computer is concerned that the power is out and we need to go start the auxiliary power. Also, the animals are on my ship.
Yay, look at them.
That is the entire reason the ship wanted me to come back.
Unfortunately, in the Japanese version, the text is so fast that you don't get to see the animation of the third Etikun just jumping up right in front of the camera.
It's kind of fun.
It is. But yes, the main reactor is not working for some reason. It turns out because someone's bonsai got out of control here, and it's kind of choking the reactor. So we need to take care of that. And
my last free energy tank here.
Yep, this is traditionally the last energy tank that runners will generally grab in any percent no memory corruption. 4 E-tanks is the standard, although some highest level runners will skip 1 or 2. Actually, no, I think 3 might be a bit more common. 3 or 4 is usually what you see. That's my point. But this also marks the start of a section for a bit of a boss gauntlet.
Alright, now here's my favorite boss in the game.
Favorite in very large quotation marks.
Well, it has the same awesome music, and I like killing spiders, I guess?
Okay, I'll give you that, but this is definitely one of the more annoying bosses, just because you need it to open its mouth so you can kill it. You can generally kill it in 2 rounds of mouth opening, but the problem is it can move around without opening its mouth 3 times, which, oh no. Oh no! Okay, you did not get the 5 round. Oh gosh, you didn't get, oh no! Oh no, it didn't die! So I'm gonna let MetroidMaster work on that. This is why Yakuza is a much hated boss, because if you don't get it into phase 2 quickly, it'll just eat time. And now in phase 2, it's just gonna bounce around the room at random speeds, random heights. You have to adapt to it and shoot it with ice missiles. This is actually one of the cooler bosses as far as just, you know, like as a skill showcase of sorts, because if you can adapt cleanly to this, taking care of the second phase super fast just looks real neat. Oh, but it's also very dangerous. Yakuza hurts very badly. Okay, core. This is a 6 missile core, but ice missile doubles are difficult. Like we said before, getting doubles with every missile upgrade gets harder. There we go, there's a double. 1 more missile should finish the job. There we go. Had me a little bit worried there for a moment.
I was a little worried myself, but I got this.
You got this.
Everything is under control.
Unfortunately, this is the space jump, which, boy, controls a mess. I don't care what anyone says, I hate the space jump in this game.
I mean, I still feel like I have an easier time controlling it than Super Metroid, but I also run this more often than Super Metroid.
Yeah, I think it's probably just that, because I would think, I see it the opposite way, but I'm also more familiar with, I've also played Super Metroid for more years, so yeah. Unfortunately, that did not fix our Vine problem. We're still plagued by 6-second videos, so we're gonna have to go over here and figure out what's going on. Oh yeah, it's time for the sax again. Did we forget to mention that? This is the mandatory sax chase. You cannot wait. It'll just keep patrolling in that room until you reveal yourself. So, MetroidMaster going to have to freeze it and...
Ow! Okay, we're good, we're good.
Okay. This section is generally not something you have to worry about too much, but if you take too long to get through the floor here, the sax will start shooting you, and you see how much damage it does off a single hit.
Yeah, not gonna lie, well, okay, me missing that main deck missile tank was the first that's never happened before, and now I got another one.
Oh, that's happened to me plenty of times. It's very easy to screw up shooting that block in the floor. The game actually wants you to go into the next room and hide, then do it, but we just do it on the way over because it's faster. Way faster.
What was that, 7? No, 8?
Okay, you were at 7 on the last door. Alright, so we're at the next boss in this gauntlet. This is, casually one of the easiest bosses just because it just kind of doesn't move. But this is Notori. We stand far forward enough, the back bud will not be shooting any spores, and we can just stand here. And once it goes into phase 2, all we have to do is dodge the plasma shots, and we can just pump missiles and charge shots into it. This is a lot easier in 100% where you can just spam missiles, but any percent we know what the damage counts are, so we can just kind of drop a specific number of power bombs, use a specific number of charge shots, and we'll always have just enough missiles left for the core. This is, of course, another beam core here. This one's actually pretty tricky, even with, because not only do you have ice missiles, but this room is kind of short. So you have to kind of make sure the core is right at the floor, then you jump up as fast as possible to get those doubles.
Funny enough, I actually do find, when I was a kid, I found this boss to be very difficult, even casually.
I think the spores are really the most challenging part of that fight, and if you can figure out how to cheese them, that kind of takes a huge part of the challenge out of it.
Yeah. Anyway, have we explained how plasma beam works?
No, but I'm excited to.
Go for it.
All right, so Plasma Beam is the game changer. So anyone who's played a lot of Metroid might be familiar with the Plasma Beam in that it pierces enemies. It'll punch through enemies and hit multiple enemies, which is great. But in this game, they gave it an extra thing. In this game, it doesn't just do damage when it hits an enemy. It actually does damage for every frame it's inside an enemy's hitbox. Frame. And this is a 60 FPS game. So if you have an enemy with a square hitbox, you hit the diagonal with a charged plasma shot, that enemy is taking so much damage. Oh, it's so good.
No, you cannot pause cheese it. This unfortunately is not Mega Man 1.
Oh, and there's also nothing equivalent to the microwave, but you don't need to because it's essentially has the microwave built right in.
So apparently some mess is happening in Sector 5, so we gotta go check it out, right?
So, yep, back to Sector 5 yet again, but thankfully this time it's going to look a little bit different.
I think this is our 5th time?
No, I think it might be actually the 7th.
Okay.
Wait, that's just, maybe it was the 3rd. Or, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I counted 1, 2, 5.
3, sir.
Oh, 3!
But yes, as plenty of folks are saying, it is now time to go fight Nightmare, which was I know for me and for some other folks, the one of the hardest bosses in the game because it is kind of it just kind of messes with you. But
An actual nightmare.
oh, okay, it's time for one of the most satisfying bits of movement in the entire run. Here we go. This is the single longest Shine Spark in the game, the Nightmare Shine Spark. It is such a big time save that even if you get it second or third try, it still saves time.
Again, with that standing pirate.
That specific pirate, I hate that pirate with every fiber of my being. I don't know how some runners manage to not get shot by it. It hits me almost every time.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't know why it didn't die from that charge shot.
I will also say this section does showcase one of the cool things about this game that I wish they had done more, which is if you kill an enemy, sometimes that X will merge with another X and form a new enemy. So here, if you kill the fish, they'll merge with the pirates to become fish pirates, which is really cool. But that doesn't really happen in any other place, which is unfortunate.
All right, 9.
All right, here we go.
I'm gonna take this E-tank for safety. So technically that 4th E-tank was not the last, but I just want to be absolutely sure.
Yeah, for sure. Nightmare is one of those fights that even when you get good at it, it becomes pretty consistent, but if things go off the rails, it still does a lot of damage.
So I'm just gonna do this to make sure.
Alright, so Nightmare is actually a 3-phase fight. In the first phase, it flies around, but when you hit that thing enough times, it increases gravity, like you see here. And the second phase is right there, done. And straight into the third phase. The first two go very quickly. Now it's going to start moving at you very slowly. Now you can see whatever that thing is inside there. I don't even know what to call that. Fire missiles into its face, and now comes the challenging bit. Nightmare will chase either you or an invisible dot that's moving around the room. So you have to try and guide it to have its body be on the screen in its entirety, because that's the only thing that will make it stop going fast. And MetroidMaster getting that real good positioning, able to finish it off in short order. All right. That was a double. Come on, come on, come on. Double doubles. Can we get the triple? Oh, so close. At this point, the core X's are all pretty much 6 missile cores, so you want to be getting them doubles, but getting doubles with an ice missile, you take those. You take those all day, every day. And now, the greatest gift, what I think is the best looking suit in the game.
We finally got our Tums in, so we're not puking anymore.
Gravity suit. Purple with the purple with the teal. Nice color combination. I really dig it.
Oh, fish pirate! Get out of here. Okay, we should be okay. There we go.
Oh, stupid fish pirate. Unfortunately, he does need to get speed going through this door.
Oh no! Alright, let's try this again.
Uh-oh.
That's okay, we've got to back up.
Yes, backups. So, welcome back to Sector 4. This is the section we affectionately refer to as Underwater Sector 4 for, I don't know, what I feel is probably obvious reasons, because we're underwater and we're in Sector 4. It has very, very relaxing music, and it's one of the, thematically one of the coolest areas of the run, but it's also distressingly dangerous. Yeah. Because even with 5 energy tanks and the gravity suit, again, the game increases the damage of everything, so you're not really taking less damage. It's very, very easy to die here. Look at this. He's only taken, what, like 2 or 3 hits, and he's already down to the better part of 3 E-tanks. This area can kill you. You have to make sure to get through here very, very cleanly, otherwise you're going to have a real bad time. Especially with things like the big fishes and the evers.
Unfortunately, I jumped a wee bit too soon trying to get the Shine Spark, so that's where I took a lot of my damage.
Ah, unfortunate.
It's fine. We can make it.
I believe in you. Well, here we go. The red doors are now unlocked. There is nowhere we cannot go.
Yeah, except I don't think Adam liked that.
Well, yeah, but you know what? He's dead. He died in Other M. It's fine.
What's Other M?
It's the game that's okay. Look, I know we agree. I know the story in Other M is really, really bad, but it still exists. We can't deny that, MetroidMaster. I'm sorry. We have to accept that it exists.
No, that's fine. I will accept that I enjoyed my first playthrough of it, but I do agree that the story was terrible.
Yeah.
I am embarrassed to admit that Other M is the reason I got into running Metroid games. I didn't play it. I should be clear. I just had a subscription to Nintendo Power in like 2012, and I was like, oh yeah, Metroid. I should play one of those. And then I played Super Metroid.
Hey, you know what? There is no need to be embarrassed, because Other M, despite all the crap we give it, is gameplay-wise not a bad game. It isn't. It's just the story.
I completely agree. I completely agree.
Yeah. And I think the speedrun's actually really cool too. But all right.
I'm gonna grab this. Oh, you know what? I know it's gonna waste. Well, never mind. It flew away.
MetroidMaster, please. So, okay, MetroidMaster going to break through that green pillar. There's actually a very fast trick to get the Shine Spark and go through the pillar, but it's very, very tight to crouch and get that. Had to go for the backup. And now heading to the final data room we'll be seeing to grab the forbidden missiles.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Adam did not authorize these.
They're not even supposed to be here.
Yeah, like what?
But these are the final missile upgrades, the diffusion missiles. Now you can charge missiles and make beautiful snowflakes float all over the screen and freeze everything they touch. It's actually pretty potent. Unfortunately, it doesn't really get used that much, but it also makes charging through the door very, very important, because they charge, it takes what, like 6 seconds for them to charge?
Something like that. And also they changed the placement of the puffers in the Japanese version compared to the English version, so it's actually slightly, like, this is one of the instances where the Japanese version is actually slightly slower than English.
Yeah. Although the reason they changed it was because since when you fire missiles while moving diagonally, they kind of curve a bit. It's possible to freeze one of them before getting diffusion and get the secret message without doing the Shine Spark chain, which they want you to work for that secret message.
So, why are we going to Sector 6 now, Crunchy?
Well, as it turns out, you remember that box you stomped earlier?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's been drinking a lot of Mountain Dew, eating a lot of Doritos, and now it has a Microsoft sponsorship. It is a Pro Gamer box, the Xbox, and we're going to have to go over there and stomp it again.
Oh boy. So, turns out we're the cause of the Red Ring of Death?
Yep, we're going to have to red ring the crap out of that box.
Okay, I'm down.
Let's do it. But this is also going to be our final visit to Sector 6, going to sections that we have not seen yet. And also we're going to get the final beam upgrade as well. Oh, puffers never stop being annoying.
They really don't.
But thankfully now with power bombs and all the new toys you have, it is very possible to just break through walls. And thankfully, even with his health being like this, a charge shot through this door lets him freeze all these blue X's, and there, look at all that health. No problem. This is one of the few spots where having lower health is not a big concern just because of the blue X's you can grab in Sector 6.
And yet the puffers still like to get in my way.
It's what they do. They can only do one thing, and that thing really sucks, but they do it so well, and I hate them for it.
Alright, good spark, good spark.
Gosh, that spark was so good that it almost made me forget that there's no entry without authorization.
Yeah, so I guess we gotta go get authorization, don't we?
Yep. In this case, authorization being, we do it ourselves. You're not our real dad, disembodied voice. But here we go. It's time for Xbox or Box 2. This fight is more challenging than the previous one because now there's electrified water and it jumps higher. So even when you're on the monkey bars, it can jump up and hit you. So MetroidMaster has to hit those diagonals and then move because otherwise it will knock him down. This is very much a positioning thing. There is no good visual reference. It's very much a feel thing. This is a fight that takes a lot of practice to get good at, and even then, it's very easy to die. Oh, just like that! It does so much damage. I lost the best run of my life to this boss, and I'll never forgive it for that.
Also, fun thing, the X-Core will not appear unless you get close to it. If you actually remain a set distance away, it will still sit there and flash. I found that out the hard way in the middle of a pretty decent run.
Oops.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is the Wave Core. It's it's not completely RTA impossible to get doubles on it, but it might as well be. And there we go. The final beam upgrade. Your beam is now ridiculously powerful.
Now we're playing with power.
No entry without authorization.
Helical power.
Warning. No entry without authorization.
Yes, the wave beam does have its properties from days past. It will shoot through walls, so now we can open this gate from the other side. That's the authorization we needed.
Warning.
Into the restricted area.
Ooh, I wonder what they're keeping in here.
Hey, look!
Where they had the
Metroids.
What? In my Metroid game?
This is unacceptable!
But yeah, now, as you might imagine, this of course means that the X can get in here as well, and this is another lore thing. The Metroids are the natural predators of the X parasites. That's part of the reason why they started to propagate on SR388, because Samus killed all the Metroids there in Metroid 2, which basically gave the X free reign of the planet.
Well,
Which pretty much just explains that the. I've been thinking about this, MetroidMaster. The Metroid series can basically be summed up as the Chozo do a bad, they do another bad to try to fix the first bad, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So they just basically raise a human child to fix all their bads.
yeah, something like that. Only because, you know, a space pirate leader did a really bad and killed the child's parents.
Yeah. And actually, someone chat saying the last Metroid is Samus. Here's your fun fact. Here's your fun fact. I don't know why I know this, but Metroid, the word Metroid in the Chozo language means the ultimate warrior. So if Samus truly is, in this game, Metroid in more ways than one. We've got layers now.
Oh God. I see your charts, Crunchy.
Excuse you, I have PowerPoints now. I upgraded.
Okay.
But here we are. We are back in Sector 1 here, actually, and heading on our way to the final Idor boss. For anyone who's wondering when this fellow is going to make an appearance, don't worry. Don't worry. He's coming. Oh, Lord, he's coming.
I've actually had like really good Idor luck as of late. I think I'm at what?
9 was it?
I think so.
Oh, I'm going to talk real quick about a cool thing here. So the gold pirates in this room, the game wants you to shoot them in the back, but the way the game checks if you're behind them is if you're facing the same direction, because it figures reasonably honestly, that if you're facing the same direction with a shot that moves pretty fast, you will be behind it. But what it actually means is that if you fire and then immediately turn around, you can kill them from the front.
All right, so 10 item beams.
And here we
And
go.
we have our boy Squawker Z. Let's go!
A straight up headphone warning. Normally we joke about turning it up, but please don't turn up your headphones. This is actually really loud. So hey, remember what I was talking about earlier with the plasma beam? This is how we make this fight easier. Diagonal shots through release hitbox, followed by a missile to maximize damage, and we can take care of this boy real quick. He's already turned red. Look at how quick this fight is with plasma. Yeah, fighting this casually as a kid is actually pretty challenging because you don't know about the plasma's properties. Look at that, already done. But here we go. The final standard core X, diffusion doubles are the hardest. Getting doubles on this core is the hardest core to get doubles on in the game. Straight up.
I don't go for them, to be honest, because I'm just like, I can't time that mess right now.
Yeah, and not to mention that the core X's themselves actually do a fair bit of damage. If your health is low going into the core, you can actually die to this core. I've seen it happen. But with that, we have the screw attack, which in this game is very, very good. It actually makes you essentially invincible. It'll break through blocks, break through enemies. It's just really good. But that's going to be the last upgrade we get in the main game here. We're going to, MetroidMaster now is going to be on his way to the true final end game and the true final boss.
Wait, main game, there's DLC?
No, but you're not doing Hundo, so you don't get to do cleanup, which is unironically the best part of Hundo.
True.
Yeah, for anyone who's never actually watched a 100% run, if you don't have the time to watch the whole thing, just skip to cleanup. It's the coolest part of the run by far. But anyways, back in Sector 1, again, some of those really cool lore touches. Now you can start to see the broken shells of Metroids that are evolving. So this game really just does such a great job with the atmosphere and the visual storytelling.
Oh, all right, hold on. Last climb, very difficult.
Yep, those blocks, you can break those blocks with the screw attack, so you have to be very careful.
As I did, like, right at the beginning of it, I'm like, ah!
Yeah, I'm trying to do what Scotty does here, and oh, you're doing it! You're doing it! You're doing it! Ooh! MetroidMaster, how are you clowning on me like this?
I did learn it, like, from watching runs.
That's actually a lot harder than it looks because the screw attack hitbox is really big and it's very, very easy to break those blocks even when you're trying to shot cancel. So he made it look easy, but that's not easy to do. And here we go. The true final boss. Text. You thought we had seen text before? No. That was like Little Child. This is text.
Crunchy, I'm starting to get, like, a little sleepy.
Don't worry, I'll wake you up when it's over. This is the longest sequence of text in the entire game.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Go for it.
Oh, yes.
We have a $10 donation from La Diable. I'm sorry, I probably pronounced that wrong. With no comment, thank you very much for your generosity. As a reminder for everybody, we are raising money for the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is the leading national organization providing crisis intervention and suicide prevention services to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning youth. You can check them out at www.thetrevorproject.org to access their services, find out more about their impact, or to donate. You can also use Bang Donate in the chat. Thank you very much.
All right.
I mean, you can keep going if you want. There's still more text.
All right. I will gladly take an opportunity to plug some of our upcoming donation incentives. So coming up right after this, we have our 2 seats, 1 controller, Super Metroid / Link to the Past randomizer race. That's a lot of words, and it's going to be really awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. It involves 2 runners, each doing 2 seeds of a randomizer at once in 2 different games. It's going to be really great, and we have a couple donation incentives for that. there is a bid war for the Link to the Past portion, choosing the second sprite. One of the runners, Andrew Vander, will be using her own sprite for one of them, and then the second sprite is up to you to choose. Currently, King Graham is in the lead with $50, with Fish and Freya Crescent both tied for second place at 25. So, if you want to see that change, do get those donations in.
All right.
It's gonna be real cool when that happens. But hey, MetroidMaster, I think the time has come for the final showdown.
Is it time to face our demons?
It is. It is time to finally face off with the smooth jazz demon and stand up for the EDM supremacy.
Bring it on.
That's right. It is time to face off with the sax once and for all. Now Samus is strong enough to tackle it. And thankfully, we have some strats to deal with it, because you might remember, you can't really freeze the sax for very long, and it's very potent. One of the few things that can knock you out of screw attack. But thankfully, if we time ice missiles and charge shots, we can actually kill it and take it out of phase 1 super fast, which is what we're going to see MetroidMaster try to do here.
Actually, I still haven't practiced that technique yet, so I got to do it the normal way.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Well, I made it sound simpler than it is. Honestly, doing it the way of keeping it frozen and then using charge shots is actually very, very difficult, and it's very easy for the sax to get away from you. So this is very much one of those tricks that you do not learn until you start bringing your time down. But yeah, you see here it takes quite a few shots to hit the sax, because the sax is also one of the only enemies that does not take damage per frame from the plasma beam. It takes one shot, then it gets one hit that takes iframes, unless it's frozen, which is why the frozen strat is so fast. But here we go, the final beam core. This is the ice beam core. There's actually a semi-consistent setup for getting doubles on it, although it is not an easy setup, so... And this core can and will murder you. Ice Beam still hurts, even though it's just a core. Thankfully, Screw Attack makes you immune to beam, so MetroidMaster just making sure to finish the fight. There we go. Unfortunately, it doesn't stick around. We can't grab the ice core for some reason. No Ice Beam for you, I guess.
Nope.
And here we go. Because what is a Metroid game without a nice countdown? Samus has decided, you know what? This station, don't like it. We are going to just crash it into the planet, because that's what you do with stations that have been naughty.
And it's been very naughty.
It's been very naughty.
So basically we found that, oh hey, our computer was actually Adam's brain uploaded to a computer, and he's like, Samus, your idea of just blowing up the space station along with yourself is kind of bad, so why not just like crash it into the planet and then escape? That way you can take care of this whole mess in one go and, actually live.
Why am I laughing so hard at emergency in the entire space station?
It is! Ow!
Oh god, that shouldn't be as funny as it is. Oh hey, it's time for the big boy. This is an Omega Metroid, the final evolution of Metroids. They're actually really, really dangerous. And look at that, it just took us to 1 health. Excuse me.
It just one-shot the SAX. How am I supposed to beat this?
Turns out everyone, the scientists were actually wrong here. Samus's cellular makeup can in fact take the ice beam, and you're going to take that ice beam and give that Omega the what for? Come on, MetroidMaster! Show them how it's done. Ooh, the claw!
Let's go!
Let's go! Yes, the quick kill literally involves getting up into space and firing as fast as possible to lock.
Coming up, and time.
GG MetroidMaster.
Okay, out of curiosity, I doubt I PB'd, but what time did I get?
That is a 1:22:21.
$1:22:21. So not quite a PB. Let's take a look real quick. Where is my live split? Because I did not use live split for this.
Hang on.
But I just want to see how this compares. Give me just a moment.
No worries. I'm actually pulling up the boards right now to see how it compares to your PB as well, just for a little bit of a reference here. Oh my gosh! Why does speedrun.com play ads now? Okay.
So I haven't actually updated my time with SRC. So give me just a moment. I was actually slightly over a minute behind my PB because back on Wednesday, while I was practicing for this, I got a PB, and my current PB is a 121.20.
Oh my God! You're catching up to me. I'm gonna have to pick the controller back up and improve my PB, aren't I?
Maybe, just maybe. So it turns out, yes, Adam is my ship's computer, like actually Adam. And the ship was able to get away because the animals saved our butts.
Because sometimes when you save the animals save you back.
Yep. Do we have time to get the in-game time?
How long would that take, roundabouts?
Well, currently the credits are going right now. I would say maybe about a minute.
Yeah, I think we have time to wait that out.
Alrighty, awesome. So we're gonna let the credits run. So thank you very much to Power Up with Pride for letting me come in and show off this amazing game and this amazing speedrun. And thank you very much, Crunchy Legs, for commentating with me. That was a blast.
Always a fun time. Always happy to help.
All right. We do. You know what? Let's see. Do we have any more donations that we can read while the credits roll?
We do. While we're waiting for that final in-game time to come in, my brain stopped working for a few seconds. We do have a donation from Glitchwitch for $30. Thank you very much, Glitchwitch, saying, I figured I should donate to this marathon, and I may as well put it towards getting myself into the Z3 rando. And that was put towards the choose the second sprite donation incentive for the Super Metroid / A Link to the Past 2-seats 1-controller race randomizer coolness thing. So currently King Graham is still in the lead at $50, Glitchwitch at $30, then Fish and Freya Crescent at $25 each.
Right. Also, as we just saw, thank you, Mr. Iwata, for helping put out this amazing game. Right, the credits are wrapping up, so let's take a look at what our in-game time is.
I'm thinking a 50.
I'm thinking a 52.
I think at worst it'll be a 51, but I'm thinking 50. I'm gonna be optimistic.
All right, clear time. 53. Oh, we were both wrong.
Oh gosh.
All right. Well, that concludes Metroid Fusion, and hopefully I will see you all next mission.
Thanks for watching, everybody.